will start with Game 7 in the Western Conference of the NBA playoffs. It was the opening round finale. Golden State playing their Bay Area rivals in a brouhaha afternoon game in the capital of California, Sacramento. I don't know if you saw this game or not, if you're watching the activity. Maybe you missed it, but we watched. Why not? What else do we have to do on a Sunday? And Steph Curry, the hyperbole, make a new commercial, sell some new sneakers. Marketing campaign, Steph Curry, 50. He put a 50 burger up. Bam! As the Warriors in the second half went kaboom and take down the Kings 120-100. They win Game 7, win the series. Golden State got 30 points from Stephen Curry in the second half, and they built up. They led by as many as 24 points in this game. They get the victory. So now the Warriors will play the Lakers in an all-California matchup there, North versus South in the Western Conference semifinals. Two very hateable teams. Two teams, can they both lose? Could they both lose? Could that happen? But that'll be the matchup. Teams that are really bad for basketball because everyone hates them. Anyway, Sacramento, their season comes to an end. They are done. See you later. So let us discuss the question on this one. Did the Warriors win this game because of championship pedigree? I heard that a lot from idiots on television. Playoff experience. So I am shaking my head no, that is not why Golden State was victorious in this game. So I've got Walrus Mustache, Floaty, and Mildewy. And we will combine all of these things together, and we are going to make some hometown officiating is what we're going to make for this Maller monologue. So I'm breaking it down here. The media, the colleagues of mine in the media, they love these old storylines. They can't get enough of these old storylines, and they continue to harp on this one. It is the bane of my existence, and it continues to pop up here. The championship pedigree. Blah, 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 blah. Now, I had to watch the game. That was my mistake. If I didn't watch the game and I just listened to morons in the media, then I say, clearly Golden State won because of championship pedigree. But I watched the game. That was my first mistake and possibly my biggest mistake. But it's a bunch of malarkey. And anyone that's got half a brain knows it's a bunch of malarkey. So we can pull out the old beret, the walrus mustache, if we want, the Jamie Heineman from Mythbusters, that classic TV show, which is, I don't think they're on the air anymore, but it's an all-time great science show, Mythbusters. And so we can play Mythbusters here. Golden State had plenty of players who have championship pedigree, and they were wobbly. Players who performed in big games and did not show up against Sacramento. Now, Steph Curry clearly did, but how many games has Steph Curry vanished in the playoffs? In playoffs, Steph Curry is a thing, and it's not a compliment. It's a belittling of Stephen Curry over the course of his career. Now, what's my evidence as far as this Game 7? To debunk and play Mythbusters, the championship pedigree, the way to go here. How about Klay Thompson? That's some good evidence, right? Klay Thompson, the yin to the yang of Stephen Curry, the fellow Splash Brother, who could not hit water if he fell out of a boat, according to the late, great Tommy Lasorda. He was a bricklayer in this game. In Game 7, Klay, championship pedigree, he took 19 shots. He made 4 of them. 4 of 19. I'm pretty sure Blind Emmett and Blind Scott would have found the basket more often than these guys, and then Klay Thompson. And so you can go down the list. Klay was 4 of 19. Jordan Poole, who's been there for a few years and played in some big games, took 9 shots. He made 3 of them. Andrew Wiggins, a fine Canadian lad, was 5 out of 16 from the floor. Those 3 championship DNA Warriors combined to take 44 shots. They made 12 of them. 12 of them. Playoff experience. The championship Golden State Warriors. That's it. By the way, it's 27%. Now, Steph Curry, who, again, has had his share of crapola, terrible games, but on this day, it was his day. He dominated the second half and all that. So the second part of this is what went wrong for Sacramento. well, many things obviously ended up sideways. They were not in the game from midway through the third quarter to the end of the game. It was a domination situation. But on cue, the NBA, which is more a television production than it is a basketball production at this point, they made sure they wanted to help out a little bit, a little flotation device on hand there, preventing the Warriors from drowning, just in case. Now, they didn't necessarily need it in this game. They didn't need it, but watching it, I did notice a few things here. And what TV wants, TV gets. The NBA gets all of their main source of revenue, their income from the almighty, all-powerful television. So what television wants, television gets. And that floaty, that was shaped like a zebra. Scott Foster, the infamous Scott Foster, and his crew made sure to have a hearty whistle. Now, while to the untrained eye, you'll say, well, the foul shooting disparity was not obvious here. It's no big deal. Both teams play a similar style of ball. And if you happen to observe this game, you know the Warriors had a bit of an escort, as both De'Aaron Fox and to some degree Domantas Sabonis were in foul trouble in the third quarter. Fox especially was tied up with foul issues, limiting the aggressiveness of the two Sacramento stars, but De'Aaron Fox in particular. And you toss in Harrison Barnes and his vanishing act as he exited stage left, and it's standard operating procedure in the NBA as the other factor here, in addition to the floaty on the side of Golden State, but Sacramento, they didn't really, the NBA didn't need to use the floaty too much because the Kings suffered from extreme TTS, which we talk about in big games all the time. And if you're unfamiliar with our show and you don't know the term TTS, that is a clinical term on our show. It means tight tuchus syndrome, a tight keister for Sacramento. They hit a pothole and fell into the realm of fire, unable to get away from that subterranean area there, shooting the basketball. Sacramento took 47 three-point shots. They made only 12 of them. That is 25% from three-point range for Sacramento. It was even worse than that in the second half. They were 3 of 22, which is about 15%, a little over 15% for Sacramento in the second half. And all the key rebounds, offensive rebounds, which are bonus possessions. Bonus time for Golden State. Kevon Looney getting a bunch of rebounds as he controlled the glass. Yet again, Mr. Clean there, and Sacramento providing that they are a one-trick pony. It's a night or an afternoon, in this case, where the three-point shots are not going in, and you continue to shoot early and shoot off. And now the last word here. So the Warriors now advance, and they will play the Lakers in the Western Conference semifinals. That series will begin, I believe, on Tuesday. So who you got? Who you got in this series now? This is pretty obvious here. It should go to Golden State. That the Warriors, we said this during the series against Sacramento, I believe after Game 5, did not think there would be a Game 7. There was a Game 7. We're going to go with the Golden State Warriors. That's where the smart money will be, on Golden State. And if Memphis had been halfway decent at finishing some of those early games, they would have beaten the Lakers in 5 games. Now, they didn't show up to Game 6, obviously, on Friday. Gutless basketball, and send the whole team to Shotgun Willie's there in Colorado after that performance. But the Warriors match up very well with the Lakers. Kevon Looney cleaning the glass there, and home court advantage for the Golden State Warriors. So you've got that going on. Also, LeBron James, a little up and down action from LeBron here. The weak link for the Lakers continues to be the status of Anthony Davis, who is undependable and mildewy. Mildewy would be the terminology. That's a clinical term also. So you toss all that together there, and very confident that we will yet again see Golden State advance, and they will move on to the Western Conference. How about the Suns, by the way, over the weekend? Holy crap. You think Kawhi Leonard somewhere is like, well, maybe I should have tried to play with that injury that other NBA players have played with, because that Suns team's no good. as I anticipated, the Denver Nuggets shoved the Nugget down the throat of overrated Devin Booker and Kevin Durant in that game one. The mile-high surprise to some. But that Phoenix Suns team, not that Clippers, if their guys had wanted to play and actually tried to play, they would have easily beaten the Phoenix Suns in the first round, and that validated my take on that particular series.